Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for. Oh, look, it is actually hump day. The astrological new year happens on hump day, March 20th, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Welcome to the astrological new year. The sun has ingressed into Aries. In fact, it actually ingressed into Aries last night around like 11 o'clock p.m. So it's like 8 o'clock on the West Coast. And for a lot of the world, it's already for the 20th. So, yeah, it technically was yesterday, but I'm putting it as today. So, happy astrological new year. Happy Aries season. And now we're about to go into a whole new cycle. So let's go ahead and show the charts. So because you can be better prepared to navigate these celestial energies. So yep, Sun entering into Aries, obviously a big deal. We also have Mercury that's going to be conjunct Chiron today as well. So yeah, energy is about to get a little bit more intense now. It's been kind of chill-ish, kind of even on these days where it's not colored blue or white. Doesn't mean that nothing's happening. The moon's been making some crazy ass aspects this entire month. If you've been paying attention and stuff, of course, we have the sun's going to sextile Pluto tomorrow, and Venus will conjunct Saturn. So we're literally just a day away from that major conjunction. And then, as it continues, building up to that full moon lunar eclipse. So it's right around the corner. Right around the corner, less than a week away. So let's go ahead and hop into that charts. So, bam, 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 boom, boom. All right, so I have this set for 8:26 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We can see that the sun has ingressed into Aries, the true new year. That's funny. And even in the title, I put astrological new year. I should just put New Year, March 20th, 2024, because that's what the actual new year is, but it is what it is. So, we also, of course, are going to be seeing that Mercury conjunct Chiron today. So we do get this injection of fire energy. We've been in a lot of water. It's been a lot of earth as well. But now we are going to have more fire. We have the moon, we have the sun, we have Chiron, we have Mercury. Of course, we have the North Node there. But now, as far as the amount of planets in a particular element, fire is taking over, which is actually a good thing. We've been kind of drowned out. It's been very, very wet. The sponge trying to absorb all these energies and trying to, manage all this. It's like a sponge that just keeps getting. We haven't had an opportunity to kind of wring out the excess water. You know what I'm saying? Now that the faucet is finally stopped, not completely stopped, but it's like giving us a moment to kind of catch our breath. We can kind of wring out some of the extra water, some of the extra emotion here, and this fire is going to come to help to kind of dry some things out. So that's the nice thing about this. Now we're finally going to kind of get a little bit, kind of dry out some of this water, kind of soak it up. You know what I'm saying? So there's not so much emotion, so much excess. Pisces season was intense, but we made it through. It was a lot of processing of everything that we've gone through over the last year, and everything that we've gone through over the last, I would argue to say 15 years or so. There's just so much to process. But we made it through, and now we are stepping into this new year. So what are we going to do about it? Well, the moment that the sun comes into Aries, as we saw, we do see, of course, Mercury on top of Chiron. Now, of course, Mercury that planet of communication. And with Chiron, this is definitely one, like I said, it's going to be one of those moments where I kind of mentioned this in an earlier video, where it's sort of like having the scar or the wound that's communicating to us, like in Harry Potter, where if there is something that's going to be happening, if there's like danger or whatever like that, his Harry Potter's his scar would start to burn, it would start to glow. And in many ways, that's what this kind of energy is with the Mercury Chiron. It's like a wound or a trauma or whatever it may be. It's going to be communicating to us. And what is that? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's negative. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's danger afoot. It does not necessarily have to be something that is going to rekindle the trauma. No, it is just going to be something. It's going to be a message from. It's going to be a message from spirit, anyways. But it's just going to be a message, and we have to heed that message, if you will. So, what is it going to be telling us? So, there can definitely be a moment today where people are feeling a bit triggered, you know, because of that Mercury and Chiron. People can definitely get triggered. Conversations can come up that could unexpectedly trigger different traumas or woundings within you. This is the kind of energy, especially with it being an Aries too. It could definitely become very inflamed. People could definitely get very frustrated with this kind of energy. This is the kind of energy where you might accidentally offend somebody, or someone accidentally offends you, and then of course you have to have the wherewithal to not blow up on this individual, because more than likely it's completely unsuspecting and they're probably not aware that they're doing it. Now, if someone's doing it purposefully, that's another whole story. I would still say to walk away from these situations. It's better to walk away than to become super inflamed and have that sort of be like the stamp of what this whole year is going to be for you. This whole astrological new year. You don't want that to be the thing. But I do think it's interesting that we do come into this new year, and this is pretty much the stamp of the new year of what's it going to be about. And if we really want to like take it back to the exact moment that the sun moves into Aries to kind of give it a little bit more. So like yeah, around 11:26 or so. Actually, I think it was actually technically a little bit earlier. If you want to get like exact, as far as like what the stamp of this new year is going to be, yeah, 11:06. So the moon was at 3 degrees of Leo. Mercury wasn't quite conjunct Chiron yet. It wasn't quite conjuncted yet. So that's the thing about this too. So, you know, this is like sort of like the stamp of the new year right here. A Venus that's almost conjunct Saturn, Mercury in between the North Node and Chiron, Jupiter and Uranus being very close. There's definitely going to be this feeling of like we're almost there, it's almost there. Although Jupiter and Uranus will conjunct this year, obviously. And of course, we do see the Mercury Chiron conjunction today. Venus and Saturn will conjunct tomorrow. But we definitely are feeling like this is like breakthrough kind of energy. But this is the kind of breakthrough energy where it's like, do not give up. Do not give up. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. That's going to be the sort of like, dominant vibration I feel of this year, is to keep going. Don't give up. Keep moving forward. Don't give up. You're so close. You're a lot closer than you realize. You're a lot closer than you realize. Keep going, and you will be rewarded for your efforts. So that's the thing about this. We're going to see, of course, that happen. Harry Potter scar kind of burning a little bit, trying to give us some sort of message as far as what it could possibly mean. Let's just, for shits and giggles, look up Aries 18 degrees. Might as well, right? Let's just look it up. let's see, hold on. Let me remove that. Stop and then present share screen symbols. All right, so yeah, let's look up Aries 18. There's for shits and giggles, right? A magic carpet hovers over the depressing reality of everyday life in an industrial area. Damn. This symbol shows that you can use your imagination to lift your level of understanding into other, perhaps higher realms. By elevating ourselves above the everyday world, we can transcend worry and strife. There's a clear message here that you can lift yourself above negative situations, and by doing so, you can attain a calmer, more creative, and spiritual life. With expanded awareness, you can have an elevated perspective that reveals greater truths. However, be a little careful not to lose yourself in the longing for escape or the exotic. You probably have to come back down to the earthly plane every now and then. Vehicles of transcendence, elevated views, transcending problems, astral travel, carpets and rugs that are special, meditation, levitation, escapes through fantasy or film. Self-defeating detachment from everyday world, losing yourself in flights of fancy, extreme longing for escape using drugs or alcohol to avoid life. Um, that sounds very Piscean, but I get what it's saying here because we a lot of times we can just get kind of caught up in day-to-day reality and there's like a need to escape. We have to be able to rise above these situations and see the beautiful aspects of life. We have to be able to rise above and see the more spiritual aspects of life and realize that we can actually alter our perspective so we can, like I said, attain these calmer, more creative and spiritual aspects of life. But like I said, if you get too wrapped up in it, then you're not able to ground these perspectives and you're just going to be off in woo land all the time. So we have to learn how to strike and find the balance between these things. So I could definitely see that. I think the Chiron Mercury here, what it's going to be communicating is that essentially, if you have issues kind of with the mundane kind of everyday life and or trying to find yourself within this thing, that the message here is you can definitely elevate your understanding and transcend the worry, the strife, the anxiety, the apprehension. You can transcend all of these things by expanding your consciousness, by expanding your awareness, and seeing the beauty that is all around you by taking those everyday steps towards a more creative and spiritual life. But of course, we still have to remember that we're still in this earthly plane, we're still in this experience, and that things are going to happen. We have to learn how to be okay in many ways with the mundane. We have to learn how to be okay with some of the earthly lessons that come with this experience. We can't just escape and escape all the time. No, sometimes we have to face things head on. And it's okay. It's okay. It can't always be, magic carpet rides, super magical. No, sometimes there is magic in walking because there's someone out there that can't walk because either they are bound by a wheelchair or they had a leg amputated. But that's the thing, there's some everyday things that a lot of times we will take for granted. And it's like walking is a miracle. Walking, standing upright, if you look at, if you follow evolution, whatever like that, apparently when we started walking upright, we were able to see above the tall grasses, and when that actually helped humans evolve to this point until we got spliced with some alien DNA. But it's a part of the evolution. So that's the thing. We take some things for granted, or thumbs, opposable thumbs. That's another one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can see that. That's definitely an interesting symbol for sure. But I could definitely see that. Now back to the chart itself. So, we're gonna see, of course, that moon. Let me switch this back to hours so it doesn't take me forever. We're gonna see that moon, of course, start to make its way throughout Leo. It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna quite get to the Mercury Chiron, but it does trine the North Node, which is nice. It's nice that we get that nice little trine right there, harmonious trine here at 15 degrees. So, like I said, today is going to be a day where a lot of people, especially our fire signs, are going to start to definitely feel better, feel more confident. It's a new year. It's time to put our best foot forward, or at the very least, it's time to put our most honest foot forward, and just come into the new year with more confidence in ourselves. And that doesn't mean that we're not going to experience challenges. That doesn't mean that we're not going to experience weakness. It just means that we are going to honestly tackle this year and do the best that we can with our given resources. There was a lot that we had to process there in Pisces. There was a lot that we had to process. Okay. Like, you gotta remember, it's been a while since Saturn and Neptune were in Pisces together. It's been a while, and it's been a while since Saturn was in Pisces in general. It's been about 30 years, So, when it first came into Pisces in 1994. So that's the thing about this. You know, we have been processing a lot of information, and now the universe is like, all right, now that you have this information, we're not giving you everything right now, of course, but now that you have some of this information, take it, run with it, do something, act, create. That's where we are right now. And of course, with that moon in Leo, we're definitely going to be feeling more passionate and wanting to feel the love and wanting to feel what's in our heart space and wanting to bring that out, you know. So, yeah, this is going to be a time, it's going to be a year that's going to require a lot of courage, a lot of confidence, a lot of bravery to continue to walk the path, to continue to walk the spiritual path, because there's going to be moments where you're going to want to give up. There's going to be moments where it's going to be like right before the breakthrough, you're going to want to throw in the towel. There's going to be moments where people are going to talk about, yeah, well, you fucked up right here, you didn't do good right there, blah, 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 blah. There's going to be times like that. There's going to be a peanut gallery that's going to be throwing peanuts and tomatoes at you, saying like, oh, why do you keep doing this? Why don't you just give up? Or why don't you do this instead, because it's more realistic? You know what I'm saying? And that's the other part about this too. It's like you're going to have people that are going to try and pull you off the path because it's too spiritual, it's too mystical, it's too out there. It's not possible. It's not realistic. It's not grounded. You got to find that balance though. You can't just be all the way into the earthly plane like that. You got to bring some of that spiritual aspect, some of that mystical aspect. And people aren't going to get it. Most people aren't going to get it. Especially people that are closest to you, because that's typically how it happens. A lot of times it's like your closest family or friends that aren't going to get it, you know? But you still have to try and strike and find that balance, So with this moon, of course, trining over to the north node and sextiling the south node, mind you, and it's at 15 degrees, balance, baby. Balance, baby. 15 degrees. All about balance, right? So I think today can be a very, very beautiful day, very positive day. That Mercury will still be conjuncting Chiron pretty much the entire day. Pretty much the entire day. And it'll eventually come off of it. And then the moon, of course, overnight will end up trining both Chiron and Mercury. But like I said, I think it'll be a very beautiful day. We're preparing for a Venus conjunct Saturn, which I think is actually very, very positive. I really do. I think this is going to be a very powerful and constructive conjunction between Venus and Saturn here in Pisces. So now, of course, the good thing is that the moon is back in balance too. So, now we don't really have any out of bounds planets. So that's the cool thing about this energy. Not only that, but even if you look at the scores Jupiter's, and I'm not showing it to you guys, but I'll just tell you, Jupiter's at plus 11 by the end of the day. Venus is at plus 9. The Moon and the Sun are at plus 4. Mercury and Mars are at plus 2. And Saturn is at minus 5. But remember, it's probably not even that bad because the ruler of Pisces, Neptune, is in Pisces, and that's going to actually help with Saturn's score. So it's probably not minus 5. It's probably more like minus 2 or something like that, maybe minus 1. So very positive. The universe is really asking us to see the more positive, beautiful things in life and to help us to realize that we can create a life for ourselves that is more spiritual, that is more calm, that's more flowing, that where we can be that spiritual server to humanity, and really make some positive change in this world. We can create that world. Is it going to require some sacrifice? Probably. Is it going to require some hard work? Probably. Is it going to require some humility? Yes, absolutely, but it is certainly possible and we can do it. It's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a lot of things that we're still processing, but the good thing is that now that we're out of all this water, we can really start to move forward and take some really bold and powerful and inspired action. And that's really what this is all about. As someone who has a lot of water, that was a lot of water. That was a lot of water even for me. Like, I have a decent amount of Scorpio, and I have a moon in Pisces at 28 degrees. That was a lot of water, guys. That was a lot of water. Okay, even for someone like myself that pretty much can breathe underwater with my chart, that was a lot. So I understand. I can only imagine people that don't have a lot of water in their chart, how they dealt with it. When someone like me that pretty much is like a fish because of all my 12th house energy in Scorpio, and then of course, like I said, I have my moon in Pisces on the fourth. I can only imagine someone that doesn't have water energy, how they're able to get through this. So give yourself a pat on the back. Have some compassion for yourself because we just made it through a pretty gnarly ass time. Now it's like we kind of gotten on land a little bit and we can finally have a chance to kind of rest. And the cool thing is that now you get to explore this new year and what it has to offer and what it's going to bring. So enjoy this time, enjoy the astrological new year. Let's go ahead and hop into the cards. And I'm still using my Deviant Tarot deck, the one that I used for the 12 signs. I did, of course, the tarot reading for all 12 signs. So if you haven't already checked that out, be sure to check out for your sun, moon, and rising. I did post those yesterday. So I'm still using that same deck. But I haven't used this deck in a while. So oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna listen. I know you want to come out. Okay, yeah. Oh, shit. Okay, well, we got all three cards. Yeah, all three cards. So I have them. This is the only card that kind of like actually flipped like out to where I can see it. So we have the moon card here. We have the moon card. Of course, the moon this today is going to be in Leo, so there's going to be a focus on that. Tapping more and feeling more into our heart space. I think it's going to be very, very important. Feeling our own creativity, feeling our own passion for life is going to be very, very important. I think it's yeah, you have like two. It's weird. It's like a wolf and a dog. I swear that's a dog. Like one of them's clearly a wolf, and the other one looks like a dog, which is kind of interesting. You have like the wolf, which is definitely more wild, and then of course you have the dog that is definitely more domesticated. So maybe this is about trying to find the balance between those two things, between our more wild side, we are in Aries season, and maybe the more domesticated, grounded side, if you will, of the dog. And I think that there are positive messages from both of these animals, from both the wolf and the dog. Let's see what other cards that we have here. I have the Ace of Beetles. I love that. We have the Ace of Beetles or the Ace of Pentacles. And I also have that followed by the Three of Beetles or the Three of Pentacles. So it seems like with this astrological new year, the big thing is, there's going to be an opportunity for us to really establish ourselves, and be able to work with the right people to kind of bring some new value to the table, and to actually start to feel our value more. This could be opportunities to make more money. This could be new careers or new jobs potentially that can happen today or can at least start to initiate. But this is about, collaboration as well with that Three of Pentacles, being finding a team, coming together and building something, because this is Pentacles, right? So this is about, building for the future. You know what I'm saying? This is a good thing. And also we can start to feel our value a little bit more. So, maybe you join like a team, maybe you join like a collective, if you will, or you reach out. But there certainly is an opportunity here for you to feel more valuable in, your situation and in your, whether it's in your job, whether it's in your home life, or just in general. This is going to be an opportunity for you to really start to feel more into that. And I think it's going to come down to, are you passionate about it? Do you love it? Because the moon is in Leo, and that's important, right? So, and let's go ahead and get the Oracle card. So I get the Oracle card. Boom, boom, boom. I have the card of Universal Love. What a card for the astrological new year. I don't really draw this card that often. The frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. I mean, I can't really expand on that too much because it pretty much just said it. We got to feel the love for everything, for the people around us, for existence, for this world. That's how we're going to really move forward. That's how we're going to heal the hurt, the pains, the traumas. That's how we're going to move through these things and and build this new earth. I think so many people, especially in the spiritual community, I think we're wanting to just walk through a portal into the new earth and it's going to already be built for us. Nah, we need to build the new earth. And the way that we do that is by feeling that universal love that is within every single person and every single being. And yes, it may be hidden under layers of shit and shadows. And you know what? You have to ask yourself, are you willing to go through those layers for certain people? Some people maybe, but not everyone. And everyone's spiritual journey is their spiritual journey. So you can't heal the world, you can't fix everybody, you can't work with everybody, and that's okay. But just know deep within your heart that this universal love, this energy, this God force is within every single person, every single being, even those that we may deem as evil. And that's kind of the weird thing. And maybe that's a little bit of my Sag first house, where I'm still a little bit happy-go-lucky, where I still believe that even the most evil beings can be redeemed. But it's not up to me to know what that redemption looks like. And it's not up to me to take actions on their behalf for them to be redeemed. That's all on them. But it's about, of course, like I said, connecting to other people so we can feel that universal love. That's going to do it for your astrological new year. Hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. I trust that this message will assist you on your journey today and this astrological new year. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. Did I already say that? I think I did already say that. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com. And as always, y'all take care. Stay blessed. Have a wonderful hump day. And I will see you all on the next astrology forecast. Peace.